All right, here's the deal. The Golden Spikes Award weekly spotlight brought to you by Chinook Seeds and Team USA Baseball. Excuse me. Jack DeLongchamps alongside a very special guest, a guy that I kind of fell in love with he and his squad a year ago, man. Pack your lunch pails. It's Ben Miller, the fireman himself. Ben, how are we feel today, dude?
Great, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. With the Golden Spikes Award, trying to bring a little bit more prevalence around the award and the incredible things that they and Chinook Seeds are doing on a day-to-day basis. I asked you this, a T-ball question early. Have you had Chinook Seeds yet? And if so, what is your favorite flavor?
I have not. Unfortunately, the turf field is kind of taking the seeds out of the
Ooh.
game for me. So I've kind of moved away from them, but myself about 5 years ago would have been all over them.
Okay. All right. Well, Chinook, we need a loophole. I don't know if it's like built-in spitters or something, but we'll make something happen because the Jack is looking pretty this year.
It is 100%.
Love it. Well, we're talking with Ben Miller, the dude that currently sits number one in the ACC in home runs and also seventh across the country with 11 Jimbos. Dude, we're seeing beach balls this year. The guy's locked in it, or maybe a couple extra bench press, or maybe one or two more buys, and we're buzzing at the plate right now, huh?
To be honest with you kind of alluded to it. Part of the renovations at Coombs have been bringing the fences in a little bit. So I've been telling myself that now it's just playing like an average field, but it's definitely led to a couple more balls getting out.
Well, shout out to Jack and the incredible people at Duke. That place, I don't know. I was there last year, and I loved how intimate of a setting it felt like. But the all turf, it looks really good. But for yourself, dude, growing up in Durham, obviously the transfer in from an Ivy League school, so you're a real big dummy too. How special has it been to play right down the street from where you grew up?
It's been incredible. A true dream come true. Not an opportunity that I thought I was going to have. And, COVID was certainly a tough time for everybody, but, a little bit of a bright spot for me, being able to have the opportunity to come back and play in front of my friends and family. It's been an incredible full circle moment for me for sure.
I joke about being a dummy. Could you sense my jealousy? Obviously, an incredible run at Penn and then now at Duke. I'm curious, like in that process of trying to figure out what was next in your baseball journey, like why was Duke such a perfect fit for you?
Yeah, there's really no question about it. Growing up here, that was the school I wanted to go to, and it just didn't work out. Once COVID happened, the senior my freshman year at Penn, Peter Matt, ended up transferring to Duke and kind of initiated that pipeline for me. So kind of in the back of my head, my whole career at Penn, I knew that hopefully that was going to be an opportunity for me down the line, and it ended up working out. Like pretty much the first day I entered the portal, Coach Pollard called me and committed right away. I don't think there was much of a question on either side. So really happy with the way it worked out.
I love that. It's been cool to see Duke baseball and what Coach Pollard has built. I think that's why when you talk with him, like it's almost contagious the way that he talks about his program and why he's so bought in and built into the fabric of y'all's culture. What is it like playing for him on a day-to-day basis? Because I think this is going to be released on Thursday, Tuesday night at the Jack ECU, emotions at an all-time high. Like he's got to feel like he could really like go to battle with him in a sense.
Absolutely, man. You said it. I mean, it's his program. He built it. When I said I wanted to play at Duke growing up, I wanted to play for Coach Pollard. And it's really special to be a part of. I think the coolest thing is he's got the community, the Durham community and the Duke community excited about this program. And, they're excited to follow us and come out and watch. And it's really special to be a part of.
It's changed a lot, right? Like since probably when you were growing up, going to watch him in middle school, high school, and now really in the last 3 to 5 years to see the expectation change and the standard change. As a veteran in that dugout, is that a conversation that you have with the boys, or is it just kind of understood like, hey, like now it's not just about getting to postseason play, it's about going and winning there as well?
100%. I think one of the messages that I try to portray to the young guys, being from here and having been around the program when it wasn't what it is now, is just what it means to wear this jersey and how far the program's come. We're not just playing for ourselves; we're playing for the guys that were 10, 15 years prior to us that may not have had the opportunities in the postseason that we're having now, and how fortunate we are to be representing the program in the state that it is.
Now I ask you, is it overplayed? Are we are you? I know I did. I bragged on it all last year. I think I even made one of your hype reels, which was like the coolest honor of my life at the time in the broadcasting piece. I said you were first team all mustache. Are we over it? Because if you can tell, and for listeners at home, you can't see, I've grown the most puny mustache of all. Are we still riding the high, or how do you feel about the narrative around the stash?
I think at this point it's just kind of baked into my whole persona. When I first started it 18 months ago, I didn't even know that I was going to be playing a second year at Duke. Certainly didn't anticipate having a mustache through all of it. But when I look back, the mustache is definitely going to be kind of a staple of my time here, I think. So it kind of is what it is at this point.
People were starting to murmur, aka me, because I can't grow a beard. Do you only grow the stash because you can't grow a beard, or can you do that as well too?
To be completely honest with you, the corners kind of give me a tough time on the lip right there. I haven't never been able to connect them. So, the beard, I don't love the hair on the neck either. It's kind of itchy.
Yeah.
But I think at this point the stash is the way to go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I look like Tumnus from Narnia when I try to go a beard. It's like I'm Patches O'Houlihan. It's hair, nothing, hair, nothing. It's atrocious. So just your one little spot, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The guy can glove it and swing it too. We talked about your blistering start, not only this year but last as well with Dookies. If you were right a sixth grader coming to watch you play, right, like you were in that guy's shoes 10 years ago, what would your advice be to them if they wanted to be the next Ben Miller and play at Duke one day?
No doubt my biggest piece of advice is play as many sports as you can for as long as you can. I think playing 3 sports in high school really turned me into the overall athlete that I consider myself to be today. One of the things I joke about is I don't necessarily have any tool that's off the charts. I consider myself kind of a no-tool player. But I think I'm average enough at all 5 of the tools that it kind of works out. And just hand-eye is the most valuable skill that I think you can have in baseball especially. And I completely attribute that to playing 3 sports all the way through high school.
I'm so glad you bring that up. I think, especially in baseball, I think we're kind of maybe on the downturn of it where everything is cyclical. Everyone like hyper focuses and specializes too early. Like I too played as many sports as possible. I, the actual below average guy, if you're average at all 3, like I'm going to be shocked. But I say the same thing, like when parents or coaches come and talk to me, like find me a guy that's well rounded. And I'm sure you felt the same way. Like growing up playing basketball and football, like by the time you got to that next season, I was excited to get to baseball. And right there is no problem with burnout. If you were to play another sport not named baseball, what would it be?
Definitely football. I played quarterback in high school. Had the opportunity to play football in college. Was trying to play both. Ultimately didn't work out. But when I'm dreaming at night, I'm having dreams about being on the football field. I'm sure that'll change once my baseball career is over. But I would have loved to have the opportunity to play football in college as well.
QB1, folks. Is anybody in your dugout right now? Could they meet you in the A gap? Or are you good?
we got a couple big pitchers, man. We're a big team. I was more of a drop back and get the heck out of there kind of guy. So I let the ball fly. I wasn't much of a contact guy.
Okay, it's fair. You guys do have some horses. I feel scared. I don't want to take off Duke fans too poorly, but doing my homework, right? I educate myself. I get prepared for these interviews. I saw QB1 rocking that Carolina blue on a visit one day. Is any reality to almost being at the rival down the road on the gridiron?
That's funny, man. No, I actually I did grow up a UNC fan, to be honest with you. My dad went to Carolina. So that's been a tough thing to balance. But I'm wearing this Duke basketball hat, so I'm at least somewhat bought into this March Madness hype. Definitely love being a part of the athletic community here at Duke, man. Everybody's awesome. Incredible students and athletes, and it's really impressive to see the kind of success that we can have across the board.
I only brought it up just because I wanted to validate how nasty on the gridiron you were. I went there. That's the only reason I went there.
That's fair.
Hey, for you guys, right? Last year was such a fantastic season, couple massive wins at home. What's it take to get over the hump? Or like I know you guys bring back a lot of veterans and some youngsters that we're really excited about after phenomenal freshman years. Is I always say, like, from the journalism, right? Big J journalism, we're like, oh, cool, like bring everything back. But when you're in that locker room and only being removed 4 years now, I think back at, hey, it's just day to day, right? Like, have you seen a difference from this year to last? Because it felt like you guys have been a really resilient group and gone, hey, we're going to wear our punches this season. I'm getting right back on the horse. I think you guys have put yourself in an awesome spot, going into week 3 of ACC play.
Yeah, I think it's a tough balance. We returned a strong group of guys, but also brought in a group of grad transfers, which has kind of been a staple of what this program has done for the last 3 years is bringing in experienced guys to ultimately contribute to an overall experienced group. And I think that, every year is different. And this year it just took some time for that to click. But we've definitely found our stride. I think just balancing the experience that we have with the really young talent. And I'm really excited about where we're at, man. We're definitely in a good spot.
Love that. I think this is dropping Thursday. So NC State at home this weekend. That triangle, right? The rivalry you mentioned growing up in it. Not to say to get extra geared up for those games, but to have State and North Carolina right down the road. Tell the people why the best baseball in the country is played in the Carolinas.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, for me, these are the kind of series that I had always dreamt of playing in, and really any of the OG, as you could say, ACC teams. I mean, playing at Virginia last week, I mean, that's a dream of mine. I'm excited to go down to Miami later this year. We'll be playing at Clemson too. I mean, those are all places that I dreamed of playing, but playing the other teams in Triangle, Duke and Carolina, I'll even throw Wake in there. I mean, those are the series that I dreamed of playing my entire life, and it really does mean a ton to all of the different athletic communities around here, and it's a dream to be part of it.
All right, I think a lot of guys do Mount Rushmores, right? Other podcasts, and I grew up listening to them as well. I'm not going to do the Mount Rushmore. I'm going to do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and bullpen guy, right? So we're going to baseball it up. Give me your top 4 Duke athletes of all time. It can be across the sport. Or how about this? Instead of Duke athletes, it's like when you think of Duke, this is who I'm rolling with on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then who's going to be your closer?
Wow, that's a great question.
Yeah, tough.
And this is also a tough one for me to answer because, like I said, I grew up a Carolina fan.
You could go total heel, pun intended, and just pick North Carolina guys.
No, I won't do that. I mean, you got to go with a lot of Duke basketball. I'm going to throw Leitner on there. I think he just represents a lot of what Duke athletics is about, which could be a polarizing take, but I think that's kind of a niche that we live in now. I'm going to go ahead and throw Coach K as the closer. I think he pretty much built the entire athletics department here, along with Kevin White. I'll put him as the Sunday guy. Yeah. So I think him along as the athletic director, for those who don't know, old athletic director with Coach K, I think just built this athletic department completely. Saturday, I will go Griffin Conine, former Duke baseball legend. We actually got a cool picture the other day. Him, Mervis, and Polly were 3 lockers next to each other in the Marlins locker room, which is pretty sick, man. Just a cool image of representing how far this program has come in the last few years. But Conine, I think, was one of the first big names in the Pollard era since Stroman. Oh, I can't forget about Stroman, can I? Stroman's in there too. But I think Conine,
he's that wild card. We're bringing him out on for championships. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. I think Conine was really the first big name in the Pollard era to kind of represent the shift that we were trying to make as a baseball program. So he's a good one to have in there.
I like that one too. Like this new era of hey, we're coming and winning every year. Not to say that Stroh didn't do that, but it was kind of like a one-off, and now this run, this consecutive streak. So that's a heck of a 4. I like it. It's a clean. It's a tough put you on the spot with a lot of names, and especially with what you said your childhood too. So I'm sure that hurt to say Leitner, but it is one of my favorite E60s. So I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to know the boys in that locker room a little bit. This round brought to you by Hack Attack. How many swings do you get around?
I usually take 4 or 5, man. I'm a get in and get out kind of guy. some of the other guys on the team aren't exactly that way. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. Everyone's process is a little bit different. But I'm a firm believer in 4 or 5 swings, max 8.
Like it. It's a feel good 5. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm not going to figure it out on swing 8 or 9. All right, so this is going to put your teammates on the hot seat at least. Who's got the most swag on field for Duke baseball?
I gotta go Kyle Johnson with that one, man. He was the first one to break out the custom cleats this year. He's got some. There's a lot going on with him. It's like Cookie Monster theme with the Louis Vuitton logo on him too. But I actually followed him up and went ahead and got a pair of custom cleats too. I don't know if you've seen them. I guess I'll shout out our board game Catan that we've been playing. Someone got it over Christmas, and we've just been playing it probably 4 or 5 nights a week. And for whatever reason, became obsessed with the sheep character. So I sent him the idea of the guy, gave him some creative freedom, and he sent back a cool pair of Jordan cleats with a bunch of sheep characters all over them and some wool Nike signs on them. So it's been a funny addition.
I have seen him. Y'all's content team is killer. They do a great job of showcasing a lot of that craziness. All right, KJ's a good one. How about off-field swag?
That's tough. I'm gonna go with Andrew Healy. I don't want to give him the hype, but I like the operation he's got going.
Good.
He can dress himself well, and he looks good every day when he walks in the locker room. I'll hand it to him.
Okay, not too much. All right, this is a 2-parter. What is the bus game of choice for bus trips for Duke baseball? Why is it Mafia, and who is the narrator?
You know the answer to that, man. You don't have to ask. I think it's Mafia for no reason other than that's just kind of what you do in college baseball. I mean, I don't really know how else to answer it. And the narrator this year, Chad Knight was narrating a lot of the games last year, and obviously we lost him, which is brutal. But I think Roman DiGiacomo has taken over the reins this year, and he's been doing a pretty good job. He's got good stories to go along with the events of every night, which is all you can ask for.
Love it. I'm so glad you brought up Chad Knight. My fourth question before our 5th and final of our Hack Attack round. Are the boys still staying on black?
we try to get a slogan unique to every year. So honestly, we kind of tried to leave that with the season last year, and honestly, we haven't even come up with a good one-liner like that yet, which I think is a part of the team's development. And we're probably coming up on that here pretty soon.
Like it. I'll offer my input. It's fade Chad. Let's roll red.
Yeah, honestly, now that he's not playing anymore, he's probably kicking up all these parlays that are probably good for everybody out there to fade if he's posting them on Twitter.
He did. He went viral there. He was one of the best interviews last year. He was awesome, especially during y'all's run. All right, 5th and final of our round. Who's got the best facial hair in that dugout? Not named Ben Miller. And how would you coach him up to be better?
I'm gonna go with BK, our pitching coach.
Okay.
He's been known to randomly break out a pretty solid mustache. It's one of those that you don't even realize he has, or that he has any facial hair at all until he shaves it in a mustache. For him, I got to tell him he's got to grow out the sides a little bit. Everyone hates on the curls, but if you want to be great, you got to commit to it. And I haven't seen any curl out of him yet, so he's just got to completely buy in if he wants to be great.
In the world of NIL, and I'm sure that this has already happened, I just couldn't find the answer. There's got to be a company out there that's hooked the boy up. Do we have someone, like, is there a special pomade that you've rocked with for the stash?
No. I kind of bounced around. I'm on to my 2nd brand of the year. If they're not going to pay me, I'm not going to shout them out. But
now we're talking. Well, let's make our elevator pitch right now. Let's make the pitch right now. Somebody get the boy hooked up. This is no-brainer marketing. Ben Miller is absolutely raking, and he absolutely deserves your attention. This is the best stash in sports, and it's a shame that nobody has called yet. How was that? We can use that as a little pitch.
I appreciate that. I also have had my eye on Pringles for a while. I think that'd be a pretty good one. So Pringles, if you're watching this, I love your chips and I love your logo.
All right, so let's go. Let's run through it. Give me a dream top five NIL deal for Ben Miller, and I'll be your own. I'll work pro bono. Give me your five brands that we need. The Monopoly Man would be good. Pringles would be good. Is there anybody else that I personally will start to go to battle for you?
I think Dollar Shave Club would be a good one.
Okay.
Manscaped would be a good one. And then I think we could probably cook up a pretty funny Old Spice commercial for sure.
Are you willing to take the shirt off and flex on him like that guy in the horse did for all those years?
Maybe I'll have to get the Manscaped one before I can take the shirt off, and then it could work out because the body hair isn't just on the face. I'll say that.
I think that's part of Old Spice's brand this go around. I think that's part of the pitch. Not to say that we're excusing Manscaped out the picture, but okay. All right, I'm ready to go.
Dad bods are in. I've heard dad bods are in, so
I sure hope so. My lovely girlfriend Natalie Spalla said that I looked like the Grinch the other day, and that I needed to get ready for this summer. So I'm terrified.
Oh boy, it's coming up quick.
Do you like how I just name dropped her in there too, so she feels really bad about how poorly she hurt my feelings?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she'll appreciate that or not, but
Well, I didn't appreciate being called the Grinch. It hurt.
that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. All right, Ben, I appreciate your time more than you know. My final question for you with Team USA, really right down the street from you guys in Cary, with the Golden Spikes Award, to have your name connected to it. We talked about what it's like to wear that Duke name across your chest, but I understand a lot of guys do, especially with your leadership, like that winning awards isn't everything, right? You guys are just going to win, but to be associated with this, right, and to put your name in that hat, like in your sixth year, like it's got to be really exciting. And talk about what it means to kind of have your name, attached to the Golden Spikes.
Absolutely, it's an honor that I had never even dreamed of. I mean, we talk about dreams. I wanted to play at Duke for so long. That's a dream that didn't work out at first, and I'm only here because of crazy pandemic circumstances. So talking about the Golden Spikes, I mean, that's not something that I ever dreamed of, but it's an honor just to be mentioned in the same sentence as some of these young talents that we got out there, man. I mean, these dudes are killing it. And it's really fun to watch the product that college baseball as a whole has been putting on the last few years.
Ben Miller, Duke baseball on the rise. If it's a name you don't know, buckle up. These boys are just getting started. There is something brewing in Durham. Ben, I appreciate your time, dude.
Thanks, man.
Pringles, give them a call. Let's go. Stop messing up.